The Singapore Assault Rifle 80 is an indigenously built, conventional assault rifle from Singapore. History and development. In the late 1960s, the Singapore Armed Forces adopted the R-15 as the main service rifle. Due to difficulties in obtaining the rifles from the United States, the Singaporean government purchased a license to domestically manufacture the M16 rifle, which was then designated the M16S1. However, the domestic rifle requirements were not sufficient to allow Chartered Industries of Singapore to economically maintain operations at its rifle factory. Export sales of the M16S1 were not a viable option. Due to the requirements of the license agreement, CIS had to request permission from Colt and the U.S. State Department to allow any export sale, which they rarely granted. In the early 1970s, Sterling engineers had developed their own 5.56mm rifle designed, the light automatic rifle, but this had been shelved when Sterling acquired a manufacturing license for the U.S.-designed Armorite R-18 assault rifle. While Sterling could not legally sub-license the R-18, the LA design was available. As a result, the new Singapore rifle design closely resembled a LA with certain R-18 elements. The successor to this weapon is the State Route 88. Other issues. It has been mistakenly reported in many foreign articles that this weapon is the standard assault rifle of the Singapore Army. On the contrary, it was not widely adopted and Singapore soldiers were not trained on the weapon in large numbers. Although consideration was given to replace the M16S1 with the 80 Saudi Riyals due to its lower manufacturing costs and reliability, it was not well received because it was less user-friendly and heavier. As a result, the M16S1 remained the mainstay of the Singapore Armed Forces until it was replaced by the 21 Saudi Riyals in early 2000s. Only 20,080 Saudi Riyals were bought by Singapore, and most have been phased out in favor of the newer 21 Saudi Riyals. As of 2000, an undisclosed number of 80 Saudi Riyals are still being stored in Singapore police armories and used in army logistics units. Uses: Croatian Army. Singapore, adopted by the Singapore Armed Forces in 1984. Slovenia, Slovenian Army. Somalia, Somalia received SAR-80s during the 1980s.